What's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Friday, baby. It is Friday. 20th of May, day 7 of Valheim. Yeah. Be getting a lot of storage development done, resorting of things, some farming completed. We did Boss 2 yesterday, which was awesome. And yeah, we'll see what else we get into today. I hope everybody's day is going very well. It's good to see you all. Let's do what we do. Hop into our gaming news segment and see what we can find that we haven't come across already in the previous days. All right, let's hop over there. Move my camera real quick. There we go. All right. Get that Java. Let's do it. I hit on this yesterday. TikTok planning to pivot into gaming. It's not a surprise. So many other entertainment platforms are doing the same thing. So, Metal, what's up, buddy? How are you, dude? Okay, so we found this out yesterday thanks to our buddy Metal, speaking of. But we'll bring it up. Borderlands 3 is free on Epic, okay? There's also a sale on Epic right now, so we'll see what Hungry, extremely. Story of my life, brother. That's all I want to do is eat. All I want to do is eat, eat, eat. Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to get some food after the news segment here for sure. How's your day been, dude? Um, Home worker gets verbal warning for gaming on their break despite even switching over to their own PC. Meaning you're being watched. Now, not gonna hop into that. Nintendo files a patent for anti-cheat software potentially in time for Splatoon 3. There we go. Let's see what that's about. We talked about this yesterday. We've already hit on that. Uh, Pokemon Go and Amazon Prime are teaming up. I'll hit on it real quick in case anybody's interested. It's just going to be some like in-game reward type stuff that Amazon does for a lot of games. Varia, what's up, Varia? How are you, my friend? Yo, yo, yo. Servers up, guys. Servers up. Oh, okay, cool, cool. Hedge fund that got wrecked by the GameStop stock surge to close. Let's see what that's about. Last year's best strategy game finally coming to Steam. We'll see what that is as well. Yeah, free goodies for Pokemon Go through Amazon. I'll bring it up and show everybody what you could potentially get. I've got an article up already. Um, PC Gaming Show returns on June 12th. Let's see. We already know that the Xbox Bethesda Game Showcase is coming up in June. What is it, like the 8th or 9th, I think? 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th, something like that. I've got all, if anybody needs all the dates and times, here, I'll just pull it up right now. Um, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. This link right here in chat can give you a pretty comprehensive show of what like different showcases are happening in June, July, and August. The times and dates that they're going to be happening and where you can locate them at. Okay, so if you are interested, check out the link I put in chat. We'll probably try to watch as many of them live as we can here. So as long this is the thing, I need to confirm how many of these are okay with being co-streamed, and as long as there isn't an issue with the main ones being co-streamed, we'll probably watch them here on in the channel. Okay. We've already got future game show. Wait, no, future game show, not PC gaming show. Think that's different. Let's take a look. We'll pull that up as well. Let's pivot. Let's pivot. Get into video gaming news. This is how it feels to build a video game and watch it die. There we go. Let's see that. We talked about this yesterday. Outer Wilds, right? Outer Wilds. Actually, I've known about Outer Wilds for a while. I've never played it. It seems like a really, really cool game, and I actually threw it on my list after we read this article as well for something to potentially play in the near future. So we'll see. We'll see. I would really like to experience it. I really would. We've got the article up already. For the first time in 8 years, Xbox outsold PlayStation in Japan last week. Really? Okay. We talked about this yesterday. Saudi Arabia buying 5% stake in Nintendo for $3 billion. If you're interested, we pulled up the article yesterday. Find the news segment on YouTube from yesterday, May 19th, and take a look. It'll be in there. New Justice League game revealed. Okay. Love Elden Ring but miss Sekiro's grappling hook. This may be the Souls-like for you. Looks like they're talking about Salt and Sanctuary? Or Salt and Sacrifice, I mean. We'll pull it up real quick. I haven't seen much about it yet. I know it released, like a week ago, something like that? Maybe a little bit more. We'll take a look. We'll take a look. We've talked about cognitive functioning, the increase that humans across the board can experience by playing video games. Research proves that is the case, okay? We've talked about the weird diversity tool they have. That's odd. Previous news segment, probably about 5 or 6 days ago at this point. We've hit on this stuff as well. The whole people blaming video games. That's been a long-standing stigma around video games being blamed for all kinds of different negative things in the world. But research has proven that that's not the case. Video games don't prompt people to do bad things in the real world, man. We've hit on that already. We've talked about FIFA and EA's partnership dissolving. Now we're going to have two major soccer or football, however you want to refer to it, games coming into the market, with EA continuing to produce theirs under the new name of EA Sports FC, and FIFA finding developers to work on their new game since they split with EA. Hit on the F122 stuff for that their new iteration of F1. We've talked about Netflix a lot. We've hit on this before as well. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge video reveals new bosses and details. Cool. We'll take a look at that. We'll see where that's a lot. That's a good amount of articles to go with today. That's usually what we do, about 3 pages per each search, and as long as we get a good amount here, then that's where we'll stick with. So let's go with that. Future Game Show powered by Mana to broadcast Summer Showcase on June 11th. Join us for over 60 minutes of new trailers, world premieres, and surprises as Summer Gaming Showcase season hots up. Where's the other one at? Am I tripping? Let's put this one right behind that. There we go. So we'll look at these back to back. So, Future Game Show, right? Games Radar is delighted to announce that our flagship digital gaming showcase, the Future Game Show, powered by Mana, will return on Saturday, June 11th, bringing you fresh trailers and insights from the most exciting games of 2022 and beyond. You'll be able to tune in to the Future Game Show at 12 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EDT, 8 p.m. BST on Saturday, June 11th. The Future Game Show and sister event, the PC Gaming Show, which is what we have pulled up next, right, will form a double header of gaming events that take place during the week of June 11th and 12th. The PC Gaming Show will air on 12 p.m. PST, right? 3 p.m. EDT, 8 p.m. BST. Overthinker, what's up, buddy? On Sunday, June 12th, exactly 24 hours after the Future Game Show. Let me check something real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're good. Apologies. E3, like we already know, E3 is not happening, right? That's why all of these other showcases are coming up right around the time when E3 would have taken place. Yeah. How are you today, Overthinker? E3 is taking a holiday in 2023. We'll see. We'll see if E3 actually happens next year. No E3. No. No E3 at all. So here, I'll throw it in chat again, right here. That's Mr. Overthinker. That's a link to a site that shows a lot of the showcases that are going to happen in place of E3. So basically, because E3 is not happening, a lot of these other companies are going to have showcases themselves. Okay, that link I put in chat, that should give you a nice comprehensive kind of show of some of the main events that are happening between June. Most of them are in June, into the first week, beginning of the second week of June. And then there are a few that are happening in like July and August. You can find a lot of the times and dates, where to watch that stuff right there. That's kind of what I just hit on was we'll watch probably quite a few of them here in the channel together, as long as there's not an issue with me co-streaming the event, okay? But yeah, no E3. So Future Game Show is part of a packed long weekend of gaming showcases, which starts off with Jeff Cayley's Summer Game Fest broadcast on Thursday, June 9th, with daily events leading up to Xbox and Bethesda's hotly anticipated show on Sunday, June 12th. Right. You can check out our regularly updated E3 2022 schedule right here for showtimes and info. Our very own Future Game Show, powered by Mana, will headline an eclectic day of programming on Saturday, June 11th. That includes Guerrilla Collective and Wholesome Games Direct. Yeah. Future Game Showcase is Game Radar's flagship game showcase, which has featured over 250 games from publishers including Frontier Foundry, Sony, Square Enix, Warner Bros., Team 17, Sega, Ubisoft, Devolver, and many other developers from around the world across all formats and genres. Our multi-format games broadcast spans PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, mobile, and PC, and has reached over 200 million viewers over 6 shows since it debuted in June 2020. The event is broadcast live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and all major streaming platforms, and hosted by famous video game voice actors. Previous show hosts include Ashley Birch and John McMillan, Nolan North and Emily Rose, David Hayter and Debbie Mae West, and Troy Baker and Laura Bailey. On March 24th, they debuted the Future Game Show Spring Showcase, first show of 2022, hosted by Horizon Forbidden West, stars Ashley Birch and John McMillan. The one-hour broadcast delivered over 50 games across a wide variety of genres, including never-before-seen videos for LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, Death Stranding Director's Cut on PC, and Flintlock Siege of Dawn, plus 8 world exclusives, including the Outbound Ghost, Turbo Golf Racing, and the adorable Lego Brick Tales. If you guys are interested in seeing some of those links, I'll throw those. I don't think we're going to need to actually look at this next article because this was actually just specifically for PC Game Showcase, which we just kind of hit on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll read it. I'll read it. PC Game Show is returning for its 8th year as part of the industry event formerly known as E3. This year's show will take place on Sunday, June 12th at 12:30 PT, 15:30 Eastern. So 12:30 Pacific, 15:30 Eastern, 20:30 BST. I can't remember what that actually stands for. And will be available to watch via the YouTube and Twitch channels of our sister site, PC Gamer. 2022 show will see the return of host Sean Plott, a former developer and esports personality, and Micah Burton, best known for her work with Rooster Teeth and various Dungeons and Dragons projects. Over the course of the show, the pair will be showing more than 45 games off to players. That's set to include an unannounced game from Frostpunk and this War of Mine developers 11-Bit Studios, a new project from Don't Starve, Invisible Inc., and Mark of the Ninjas Cly. The first gameplay footage of Paradox's latest grand strategy, Victoria 3, and more information on the likes of Arma 4 and Sam Barlow's Immortality. Elsewhere, there will be developer interviews, mod spotlights, and dozens more games to check out. Last year, the PC Gaming Show exhibited the likes of Chivalry 2, Dying Light 2, Stay Human, and Humankind, so expect plenty of high-profile games to show up this time around. This summer's conferences might not technically be bound by the E3 name, but that doesn't mean there's not plenty to look forward to. I agree. The Summer Games Fest returns, as do Microsoft and Bethesda for their own showcases. The Future Games Show will also be back, showing off even more upcoming games. There you go. There you go. How it feels to build a video game and watch it die. Now, this is what's important. Does it mean build it and it dies before it ever gets released? Or are we talking build it, it gets played, and then it just kind of falls out, right? When a live service game goes down, it's a nightmare for the developers who work vanishes with it. When Ubisoft announced the Hyperspace, its ambitious battle royale game, would be shutting down on April 28th, news articles were blunt. Forgotten, failure, and massive flop were common descriptors, and the general conclusion was that the game hadn't done enough to differentiate itself from established competitors in a crowded genre. Hyperscape is just the latest live service game to meet an ignominious end. Battleborn, Lawbreakers, Crucible, and PlanetSide Arena are a few notable titles to go under in the last few years. The latter surviving a mere 4 months, and once the servers for these games go down, they are gone forever. Maybe this is the natural result of an overcrowded marketplace intent on chasing trends. But how do developers feel about working for years on games that fell and vanished for reasons beyond their control? And how do they feel about continuing to work in a medium where, as more games turn to the live service model, their creative efforts become increasingly precarious? I don't think it's hard to imagine how that feels. But it is the natural way of things in this industry, right? Taylor, who worked on Hyperspace, said via email they try not to get too attached to anything in game development, as its nature is fleeting and things often get cut or reworked. That being said, this was the first game I was on where a lot of my work remained intact, and it does suck that none of it will survive. Games fail for all sorts of reasons, many of them beyond the control of developers, but a failed single-player game still exists to potentially be stumbled across by new fans. A dead online game is just gone. Millions of dollars and thousands of hours of work up in smoke. Yeah. Look, I think this is one of the reasons this kind of experience leads people to break away from bigger companies and probably start their own indie stuff, their own development studios. Because if you can even feel attached to something that you were just a part of as a bigger team, then and have that experience of it die, and I could be wrong. at least if you went and did your own thing with a few other people or whatever as an indie, you can try to create something that you'll always be able to uh, have a hold of and access if it's your own uh, developed piece of software, right? I could totally be wrong, but it could be. It could be. Game writer Miko Rotolati? Dude, I might have butchered that, and I'm so sorry. Whose credits include Alan Wake, Quantum Break, and numerous dead or canceled titles, said during a phone conversation that the death of an online game is unique. If you write a book, you can count on that being around. People can experience it later. Once those servers go down, what's left is just a bunch of random YouTube videos where you can watch glimpses of the work we did. Feels like a shame to just let it slip past our fingers. Doesn't mean these games aren't worth making. Game designer Chris Morris, who worked on Lawbreakers, tells Wired, I don't consider that work to have been wasted. It was a valuable experience and a fun project, for sure. Experience being key. It would have been great if things had gone differently and the game found an audience. I do wish it was still available to play today in some form. Narratives tend to form quickly around doomed games. Hyperspace was criticized for sporting unbalanced weapons and a brutal learning curve. By the time Ubisoft began addressing these concerns, its troublesome reputation had calcified. For developers, it can be frustrating to see good ideas fall by the wayside. Yep. Lawbreakers levels, movement, gunplay, and character abilities work together in interesting ways, Morris says. I feel like there was a lot of untapped potential and depth in the game if the game had been able to stick around. I could see a future where the team would have continued to learn the game alongside players and found new ways to keep it fresh and interesting. But in an industry that's always keeping one eye on the next quarterly report, struggling games rarely receive the time they need to turn around. Sometimes they aren't given the chance to succeed in the first place. Yeah. So many unrealistic expectations, lack of planning, too many last minute decisions. This is what's really important about like the beginning of any development process, not just in video games, right? Any kind of project, the beginning of the development of projects in general is planning, right? You set goals on a timeline and things that should be happening in a specific kind of order, but you need to remain agile in that process, meaning not everything is going to go as planned, right? And you need to be able to pivot. Yo, Syke, what's up, buddy? You need to be able to pivot. How are you, buddy? Good day, good day. Whenever unforeseen obstacles, right, come across through that process, the development process, whether it be developing a game, any kind of project, right? And if the planning from the get-go is not done very well, these are the kinds of issues that you're going to come across, right? So, very successful businesses are really good at planning. I'm doing great, buddy. Thanks. I'm doing great. But quite often, failed projects, failed games. I've I've seen plenty of failed projects in the workplace, and I can only assume that a lot of failed video games probably stem from some form or fashion of a not great planning process in the first place. Not all, but I'm sure there's an amount of them, anyways. Um, the ephemeral future. Despite Lawbreakers failing to survive a gauntlet of competitors that included Overwatch and Fortnite, Morris is bullish about the opportunity to work on another live game. All he can do, he says, is work hard, hope to produce something compelling, while organizing that countless games are competing for a player's time. As a fan, however, he has concerns. Wouldn't want to see an increase in risk aversion just because a game might fail to find an audience. As someone who has always enjoyed collecting games, however, my concern is that more of these games could disappear completely. We don't have any meaningful way to archive or access them. Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, absolutely. I probably won't read all of this. I'm going to get a bit of a summary going on here so we don't spend too much time. It's a pretty long article. Yo, it's random. What is that? Glitch energy? What? I've never seen that. Yo, it's random mode time, guys. Sykes, server's up, by the way, buddy. And I haven't seen that one either, dude. Pasta that? Oh, yeah, I have seen that one. It looked different for a second. Um, okay, cool, buddy. Cool, cool, cool. There you go, Mr. Overthinker. All right, buddy. Um, One problem with live games is that they're really hard to approach as a player. There have been any number of events you miss, so you're completely lost. Are there good on ramps for the narrative? Can you experience the narrative, or is someone just going to shoot you in the face the whole time? A good story wouldn't have saved hyperspace, but Rodolati points out that Destiny 2, League of Legends, and Warframe, all of which started with thin and obscure stories, now have realms of lore and dedicated fans who create or consume wikis and YouTube videos about them. Not only that, but they've built upon those games and stories and things like, especially League of Legends, right? We've got Arcane, which is part of yeah, Merry Christmas, yeah, dude, yeah. Uh, they've built upon, they've branched out, they've got other forms of entertainment that are actually built off that nice lore that they've built on those games, right? Um, when Warframe came out, it was pretty much weird space ninjas going around and killing each other. But over the years, they've completely revamped their story and made a big effort to bring it to a higher level. I think that's made a huge difference in how people view their game. Yep. Also, the fact that live service games can become second jobs, demanding much of your free time if you want to keep up. If hardcore players don't get a constant stream of content, then they'll leave for another game, forcing developers to produce endless updates, which makes it intimidating for new players to get into a sprawling game with esoteric mechanics and lore videos longer than most movies. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a daunting thing, right? There are so many games out there, live service games nowadays, that's the way a lot of them feel. Uh, like you need to be in it grinding all the time, or it's just not going to be worth. Now, I can say that I am pretty happy with how like Lost Ark feels. I play it 2 days a week on stream. Um, I log in most nights just for about 20 minutes. That's about it. Check on the guild, do a couple of other things. But I feel like they've done a good job of including enough stuff in the game that you can grind, like going and getting collectibles, all kinds of real time cyclical events within the game, right? That you can attend and take care of. But you also don't have to do those things if you want to be a bit more casual about the game, right? And that's a really tough thing to balance in a lot of live service games. While all AAA game development is challenging, the strict schedule of live service games is especially demanding. Delay an update, and you could lose players to another title. Yup. You get no slack. You have to keep putting stuff out. In order to make any piece of content, you need a programmer, scripter, artist, animator, level designer, writer, a producer to coordinate, maybe a voice actor. And if anything in that chain gets delayed for whatever reason, that immediately leads to crunch. And you can't disappoint investors by putting the health and safety of your crew first. Uh, Rodolati adds that he often used to work long weeks and weekends, which inevitably leads to exhaustion, burnout, and mistakes. Although he now has more comfortable working hours. He also told a story about a colleague who, on an old project years ago, began suffering blackouts from overwork. That's terrible. Look, I think this is one of the reasons you're starting to see a lot of unions pop up within the gaming industry. Yeah, um, to try to take care of the employees, right? Take care of the employees. I think that's why unions are starting to pop up partially. Uh, Despite the risk of funding a flop, the live service model isn't going anywhere. Players love the games. The potential for profit is huge. And Morris, Radulati, and Taylor are all happy to make them. There's no such thing as a modest success. You're either a phenomenon or a flop. For the genre to keep both developer and player happy, the endless supply and demand of content needs to be reevaluated. And creators need to think about the day when their game dies. Yeah, there's no doubt, right? If you want to be a live service game, you're not going to maintain a player base without continual content, right? We know that. That's what we as gamers have come to expect and want from a live service game. Otherwise, you get bored. Yeah? You get bored. You're not getting new content. It gets boring. You play something else. That's what we do. All right. For the first time in 8 years, Xbox outsold PlayStation in Japan last week. What even is a live service game? Basically, any kind of online playable title, I would say, is a pretty good way to describe it, right? I mean, anything that plays live, right? It could be something like Call of Duty's online multiplayer. It could be MMOs. It could be anything. Yeah. As long as it's like an online title. Oh yeah, for sure. Mhm. Anything where there is a constant, you play it in an online environment, right? Yeah. Where again, that's kind of what I was getting at there is those types of games where you're expecting to continue to be playing it and expecting new content to be in the game. Um, Basically, about anything that's going to be online and multiplayer stuff like that, it's going to be considered a live service game. Yeah. There are all kinds of different genres within that realm, right? But basically, if it's going to be online, it's something expected for you to maintain a player base and continue progressing through and stuff. People expect new content. Live service game. Yep. For the first time in 8 years, Xbox outsold PlayStation in Japan last week. Series S topped PS5 in the weekly sales, marking Xbox's first triumph since 2014. 8 years. The Series S outsold PlayStation 5 in Japan last week. Yeah, for sure, Overthinker. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Um, so here's the thing. I think Xbox is getting more of their consoles available than PS5 is at this point. And this could have something to do with this. Um, According to sales data published by Famitsu, the Xbox Series S on its own, not including the Series X, really sold over 6,100 units, whereas the PS5 and PS5 Digital Edition both only sold a combined almost 2,700 units. It vastly outsold. For comparison, last week PlayStation 5 sold 40, almost 50,000 units, whereas the Xbox Series S sold, I'm guessing, 10,000. Which appears to suggest that, like in many other parts of the world, the sales fluctuation is due to the availability of consoles. Thank you. Exactly. Similarly, the Xbox Series X sold 3,500 units last week compared to the only 105 this week. Milestone is notable due to the Xbox family's famously soft sales figures across the generations in Japan. Yeah, Japan's going to be Nintendo and PlayStation. According to a recent report, as of February, only 2.3 million Xbox consoles had been sold in Japan across all generations. All generations of Xbox consoles since the original console came out to the country 20 years ago. Vast majority of these were Xbox 360 sales, of which were 1.6 million. Yeah. As pointed out by at Game Data Library, Xbox hasn't outsold PlayStation since the launch of the Xbox One in 2014. Since the inception of the Xbox brand, it has outsold PlayStation fewer than 10 times. I'm not going to go over all these stats here. In the months after it launched Xbox Game Pass for both consoles, and PC in Japan in April 2020, Xbox saw more player activity than in any time in its history in Japan. Tango. This is what I'll say. I've always been more of a PlayStation person because I had older Xbox consoles and they always broke down on me. Xbox consoles back in the day used to break down on me constantly. And therefore, I got very jaded about Xbox brand. Yeah, I can say this. Yeah. I mean, if you remember, so my Xbox One, right? My Xbox One. If you remember, there were a lot of Xbox Ones that would constantly the lens or the laser would fail in the drives of the Xbox Ones. And then the next gen were overheats, right? You remember the red light of death or whatever? Their heat sinks were too small. The heat sink in the next gen after that, the second gen Xboxes, where the heat sinks were too small, so they would constantly overheat and everything. That turned me off on Xbox really bad. Now, on the flip side of that, I've never had any issues with the PlayStation ever. And again, this is just personal experience, but it did put me a bit jaded when it comes to Xbox stuff. Also, I've always had a bit more of a soft spot for more of the PlayStation exclusive titles. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. And so that was something that always kept me more into PlayStation side of things. I'll also say this. I have not gone back to Xbox stuff until recently. I needed some new controllers, so I got some core controllers, a couple of core controllers. The bumper buttons constantly break. Brand new controllers, they constantly break. I'm not a big controller user either. I don't use a controller all that often. I'm a mouse and keyboard guy. But I've already like I'll show you. I keep backup bumper button parts because I constantly have to replace them in those controllers. I'll show you why. The way they made these bumper buttons, these little tabs that hang down right here, they break very quickly. They break very quickly inside the controller as they're used. And when they break, the button won't depress anymore. So I keep these around as spares. Chill while playing. Look, I don't mistreat my equipment. I do not slam controllers. I'm very delicate with my stuff. I've never been somebody that mistreated my equipment. I pay, I appreciate the money I put into my stuff, and I don't want to have to replace it. Yeah, so I'm not that person. You will never see me slam a controller or anything like that. I never have been that person. So, again, the thing is, with me and Microsoft, especially over like the past year, I've heard a lot of great things about, I mean, even though they're a giant company, they obviously bottom line for them is money. I do feel like as far as the like juggernaut gaming companies go, I've heard a lot of great things from a lot of great statements and quotes from the people that are leading Microsoft in still having some kind of focus about trying to present us as a gamer community with fun. And I think that's where a lot of developers, as they get bigger, they lose sight of that. So I'll at least give them credit for that. I just have not had a great experience with the quality of their products. So Sony it has always been my jam. Yeah. Here's the thing. Following Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda last year, that's actually a really good question, Overthinker. Thank you. Spencer also called the acquisition of Tango Gameworks as part of the deal, a great step towards achieving Xbox's ambitions in Japan. Tango. Tango makes, if you guys remember the recent game that came out, Ghostwire Tokyo. I haven't played it, but that's Tango. Now, the reason I love Tango is because of the Evil Within games. Tango makes Evil Within, and apparently they're in the process of developing Evil Within 3, which I really, really hope is a thing. Yeah, never used Xbox before. I think their consoles perform much better than they used to. I just got jaded, buddy. I just got jaded about their stuff, you know, and even going back, and because I've always used PlayStation controllers, even on my PC and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them another chance. I'm going to buy, because I really wanted to go with the new DualSense, the PS5 controllers, but I'd heard bad things about those. And they're like $70 a pop. I'd heard they've got real bad stick drift in them, button stick and everything. And I was like, well, let me just buy some Microsoft controllers to try them out. Bumper buttons constantly break on me, man. I don't know. I've actually got my other controller. It's got another one that's breaking right now. I can feel it. So I'm going to have to replace it soon. Yep. And I'm pretty good with stuff like that. So I probably need to start making some videos about repairing things. I've got some fat fingers. I got those Paul Bunyan fingers, I guess, man. I just smash them so hard they break. Another thing about these controllers that drove me nuts, if you're not aware and you're thinking about getting some of these, understand this. Now, one of the things that's nice is they've made accessing the inside of these pretty easy. Underneath the triggers, you can hear it. You probably won't be able to hear it because of my noise suppression. Those rage fingers, I guess, dude. Underneath the triggers, they put these little pieces of styrofoam. And they're glued in there. Right where these hit inside. Check this out. The only reason they are in there is to dampen the clicking noise a little bit. Whenever you push the triggers, right? Eventually, that little strip of styrofoam in there, or not styrofoam, but it's like a cushy material, right? It will kind of slide off that glue a little bit, and your triggers will start sticking as well. It's not a real bad thing to have to fix. There's this little piece of, you can see the lines here. This piece of plastic, you take that off, and then you can just, underneath where this trigger is, you can pull that little like cushion out, and use some rubbing alcohol and like a Q-tip to get all that glue out of there, and it fixes it. But just another thing that's really bad about like their quality control, like it's happened on both of these controllers to me, because it starts sticking in the glue on the back. I don't know, man. Tango, hopefully will be coming out with Evil Within 3. I want to play Evil Within 3 so bad. We played both of Evil Within 1 and 2 last year in Scaretober. It was excellent. Psych scared me one time very well. I will never forget. We've actually got a clip of it we'll watch in the anniversary stream. Yeah. New Justice League game revealed. Well, I said one time really good. There were a lot of good scares, but there's one that sticks in my mind pretty nicely because it was really funny too. I got the community got me quite often, but there's one in particular. Yeah, you'll see it in their anniversary stream site. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. A new Justice League video game has been revealed as part of today's OG Unwrapped event from publisher Outright Games. While not much is known about the new video game, including the actual title of it, beyond the teaser, it is known that it is being developed by PHL Collective for the PS5, PS4, Series X, Series S, Switch, and PC. Also, it is expected to release at some point in 2023. The extremely brief teaser revealing the video game included a small look, chibi-sized versions of Superman, Batman, The Flash, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Aquaman. As the portal opens up behind the group, a shrieking laugh echoes. While not shown on the screen, it certainly seems like it's Joker. Nice. I love the Joker. You can check out the teaser trailer for yourself below. Okay. I'm not going to watch that, but threw his keyboard and broke it? Good night. How do you throw your... was he like... what? Is he like grabbing it or something? What? That's weird. I could see like throwing a controller or something. I mean, what, like holding the keyboard in his lap or something? Seems odd. As one might expect from Outright Games, the new Justice League video game is described as a family-friendly adventure game starring the DC superhero team. There appears to be offline co-op for up to 2 players. According to the announcement, it generally falls under the action-adventure umbrella in terms of what type of video game it is. Yo, Mamzelle, how you doing? It's good to see you, my friend. Some further details. Happy Friday, by the way, guys. Weekend's almost here, baby. Jump and grab it at the same time. Okay. Just reaching for any kind of security, I guess. Further details revealed by Outright Games include the fact there is no paid in-game content. Nice. Specifically aimed at players 10 and up. While there are currently no plans for DLC, the opportunity to do DLC is being looked at by the company. Exactly which DC characters, heroes, and villains alike might appear has not been announced, nor has the voice cast been revealed. That said, it seems likely the characters shown in the brief teaser will all be in it. Yeah, I would expect. As noted above, a new Justice League video game referred to by the publisher as DC Justice League game from Outright Games is planned to release for those that all consoles, developed by PHL Collective. Beyond that, little is known about the title. Okay, so there you go. New Justice League game coming. Shh. Yeah, has anybody played Salt and Sacrifice yet? Salt and Sacrifice, the sequel to 2016 Salt and Sanctuary, has me hooked on its satisfying grappling experience. Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna watch that video. I'm a bit sketched out about watching a lot of videos because they can get copyright violations on YouTube when I upload the news segments and stuff or the playthroughs. So we'll hold off on this. No, different game. Like I said, there's some good ones. There's just one in my mind in particular. That's not the one I was thinking of. That was a good one too. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's it. Yep. That's the one. Yeah. Yep. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge video reveals new bosses and details. Um, while when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge releases this year, the game will bring back a lot of the best elements from the Konami games while also offering a number of exciting new features. Today, Emu and Tribute Games released the second in a series of behind-the-scenes videos revealing lots of new information about the game, including some of the bosses players will encounter, in addition to Rocksteady, Bebop, Tempestra, and Rat King. Today's video also features Dirtbag and Groundchuck. In total, the game will feature more than 20 boss characters, including returning villains, and some that have never appeared in a previous TMNT game. In addition to new villains, the game will also feature some other fun changes to the Konami formula. Players will now find party pizzas in the stages, which allow multiple players to heal up, as opposed to just one. Game story mode will also feature an overworld map where the players navigate using a Turtle Party Wagon and Turtle Blimp. And there will be an option to revisit cleared stages. Players that want a more arcade-accurate experience can stick to arcade mode instead. So far, it's looking like Shredder's Revenge will offer a lot of fun and nostalgia for longtime fans. In the video, the developers likened the game to when fans would play with all your TMNT toys when you're 10 years old and you just bring them all together. Developers seem to have a lot of love for the franchise as a whole. Feels very much evident in these behind the scenes videos. Unfortunately, Shredder's Revenge still doesn't have a release date just yet, but hopefully fans won't be kept waiting too much longer. Shredder's Revenge will release on the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Um, yeah, if you want to watch the video, I'll throw it in chat. That way you can see everything. Keep moving. Borderlands 3 and its billions of guns is currently free to download on PC. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. What I love about it is like I'm climbing down the ladder. You know, I'm like just, and then it was like going right back up. I was like, I can't. No, not after that. That one sticks in the mind very clearly. Well, there's going to be some really good ones this year playing Dead Space. Dead Space is going to be freaky, man. I've never played Dead Space. I've watched an amount of it. I don't really have any spoiler stuff necessarily, but Dead Space is going to freak me out, man. And I know that the community is definitely going to get some nice jump scares on me. So using alerts and stuff, yeah, yeah. Uh, so this week is the start of Epic Game Store's annual Mega Sale. Okay, Mega Sale's happening, guys. We'll pull it up. And as the name implies, there are currently a massive number of games on sale. While there are a bunch of games available for cheap, Epic is planning to give away a couple of games for free too. First up, Borderlands 3, which is available at the low cost of nothing. So go get it. Starting today, you can grab, download, and install Borderlands 3 on PC via the Epic Game Store. As with past freebies from Epic, once you create an account and redeem the game, it's yours forever. And as usual, this offer is only for the PC version. Don't wait too long to pick it up, as the deal expires on May 26th. Oh, yeah, Mamselle, nice. After that, Epic will move on to its next free giveaway. I've never seen this image of, for Borderlands 3. That's funny. Again, yeah, something to consider here is that it will just be the base game. You'll still have to grab the DLC, but they might have all the DLC on sale. So we'll take a look when I pull it up. Borderlands 3 is a first-person co-op shooter released in 2019. Recently named it one of the best Borderlands games ever made. Really? I've heard the consensus of Borderlands 3 was, it was good, but it wasn't like on par with like Borderlands 2. That's a lot of what I've heard. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I mean, again, this was probably made. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good though. It's funny. What I was gonna say is that image without like the free on Epic Game stuff could have been developed back in like 2019. You know what I mean? They just took it and used it by putting a little bit more text on it, possibly. Recently named it one of the best Borderlands games ever made. While some didn't enjoy the main villains or storyline as much as those in the past games, yeah, the overall combat and movement improvements help make looting and shooting for hours and hours much more enjoyable. Also plays great on PS5 and Xbox XS thanks to next gen patches that improve the shooter's performance. It also ended up getting a lot of great DLC after it was released. The Epic freebie doesn't include any of that. I knew it wouldn't. They never do. That's how they get you. Yep. As for the Epic Game Store Mega Sale, includes more than 1,500 games and a 25% off coupon automatically added to your cart upon checkout and runs from today until June 16th. Some highlights of the sale include the newest Borderlands entry, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Ghostwire Tokyo, which we were just talking about from Tango Games, XCOM 2. XCOM 2 was just free. XCOM 2 was just free about a month ago on Epic, but you can probably get all the DLC now for a big discount, more than likely. The original Dying Light and Ubisoft's open world shoot 'em up Far Cry 6. Let's pull it up real quick. One second. I don't think I'm logged into mine real quick, but I'll pull up Epic. We'll take a quick look since we're already talking about it. Okay. Yeah, let me log in here real quick. All right. Yep. So, um, Epic Mega Sale discounts up to 75% off. Yeah. Um, there's Ghostwire Tokyo we were just talking about. Here's all their big new game sales. There's Borderlands 3 for free, right? Grab that. Grab that. Now, what I want to see is. Can I just click on that? Probably. Where's their DLC at? Yeah. So you get the base game for free, right? It doesn't look like cosmetic pack. Cosmetic pack. Goodness, dude. Is it the season 2 stuff? They do have some of the stuff on sale. So you might the season 2 pass probably includes a lot of the DLC. I don't know, let's see. Season 2 pass. You get all 4 multiverse final form cosmetic packs. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. I know a lot of people don't like to play the game without a lot of the DLC if it's available, though. So I just wanted to look and see if it was on sale and stuff. We'll go back and look at the store real quick. Again, you'll get like a 25% off coupon if you're interested in buying anything right now. So keep that in mind. You get a bit more of a discount as well. Right here, see? Save 25% on all eligible games in your shopping cart during Mega Sale. Coupon is automatically applied at checkout. Ends on June 16th, okay? There's Sifu, Cyberpunk, Kena, Red Dead Redemption 2, Death Stranding, all kinds of stuff, guys. Horizon, complete edition of Horizon Zero Dawn's 25, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, lots of stuff in here. Lots of stuff. Disco Elysium. They put Slipknot in Smite? That is sick. What? That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so I don't know if you're interested in any games right now. There's a big sale going on Epic, and don't forget to go get your free Borderlands 3 game. Okay, you can't beat free games, man. I don't know. Cool. Oh. Let me see real quick. The other thing I wanted to see was the base game of XCOM 2 is $6 right now. Okay. Um, the collection of XCOM 2 is $12.96, which includes XCOM 2 and I think all the DLC. And the collection upgrade is actually just $10, which includes all the DLCs, expansion and DLCs. Yep. So $10. So if you got XCOM 2 like a month ago for free, it might be worth grabbing the collection upgrade for $10, and you get all the additional content that was made for XCOM 2, DLCs, expansions, all that stuff. So there's that. Cool. Doop. Press your mouth. Okay, whatever. Okay, here you go. Here's something a bit wild. Home worker gets verbal warning for gaming on break despite switching to their own PC. How did their boss find out? Nice. I like that. Imagine discovering your boss had somehow been listening to everything you did and said, even outside of meetings and phone calls. How fired would you be? Okay, so it's a little far-fetched for most, but these are the fears of one Redditor whose boss found out. Yeah, they were playing video games on their lunch break and gave them a verbal warning for it. what is this? Recyclops? I think Recyclops. I like it. Posted on Reddit's anti-work subreddit anti-work. Yeah. After they received the warning for simply spending one of their lunch breaks winding down playing some video games because why not? Usually there aren't official rules for what you can do and can't do on your break. Although reading through some of the comments, I may have just been really lucky with my bosses. Since they've been working for a call center, OP says their work laptop has been loaded with a software called Five9, a customer relationship management CRM tool. In this software, managers are able to listen in on calls even when you are on hold, they explain. But that doesn't explain why their boss could hear them playing games on their break. I am not in the phone or chat queue, so that tells me she is able to just listen to me all the time. Being on break aside, is that even legal without telling me? Now I just feel weirded out not knowing if they're just sitting there listening to me. Quick search of Five9 didn't turn up any similar complaints about software. In fact, it scored a 7.7 out of 10 on Trust Radius, though I'm not sure how many reviews there are made by low-level employees, right? Yeah. Yeah, psych for sure. Yeah. Here's the hitch. It looks like OP was working from home at the time. In a later comment, they note that they were using their own personal PC, but with their work laptop open beside them. I can imagine the panic of wondering what else their boss might have recordings of, and does it stop at audio? One commenter familiar with Five9 software says it doesn't record when you aren't on a call. You may have had your disposition set to activate the recording. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. If OP realizes they had their profile set to record, yet hadn't consented to call recording in their contract, two-party consent laws could protect them. Two-party consent means both people on the call must consent to being recorded, as opposed to one-party consent, which is only one person needs to be aware. Yeah. Please, man. On the other hand, if OP's every move is being recorded through some other means, even when they're not on call, that's a whole other kettle of fish. It could be grounds for some serious legal action. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly, psych. Yeah, yeah. It's a sketchy situation, man. Gamer, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? Until they know what's going on for sure, the consensus in the comments seems to be this: collect evidence that they've been reprimanded, and for what? What for exactly? And for the love of all things holy, turn off your work laptop while on break, man. You can always get another job, but you can't get back your lost dignity should they see the other unsavory things you get up to at your desk. Yeah. That's wild, man. That's wild. All right, here we go. Please stop. Nintendo files a patent for anti-cheat software potentially in time for Splatoon 3. The patented technology will identify when users are modifying the game's data with the intent to cheat. Nintendo has filed a new patent that appears to be some kind of anti-cheat software and is planned to be implemented with its online games. They've been needing this kind of stuff for quite a while, yeah. As spotted by OP Attack via Nintendo Life, Nintendo has filed a new patent with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Patent, which is described as a systems and method for identifying modified program data, will seemingly work as a kind of anti-cheat software and will be able to detect when a user is attempting to modify any of its software. Most likely, that effect will be felt most keenly in online games such as Super Smash Ultimate or upcoming Splatoon. Yeah. The official description of the patent reads: the technology described implements attestation. Yeah, for sure, site. Yeah, absolutely. Attestation programs that employ code reuse techniques. In particular, the technology relates to auto-generated attestation programs for, among other aspects, detecting whether a program has been modified. Put in simple terms, the patented software would flag any users that they are attempting to modify the game's code and therefore cheat the system. A few pages into the patent, we can also see more of Nintendo's intentions with the new technology. As explained in the document, cheating in video games has been prevalent, since almost the dawn of gaming. Yep, the description reads: video game cheating has evolved greatly over the years to a point where users can modify the software and or metadata to gain an unfair advantage. Again, I'll say this: I am not a proponent of cheating in games. I actually enjoy seeing people trying to play it off, or like live streamers trying to play it off like they're not cheating, even though they're kind of being called out for it, and then uh, like showing their cheat mod for a second on screen accidentally and getting blasted for it. I love it. I love it. In particular, users are able to modify software in a way that enables them to have advantages over other players on different systems across a multiplayer game. The document continues, these unfair advantages result in the game being much less satisfying to the user, thereby affecting the overall human user experience and interaction in the game. Looks like Nintendo has decided to take cheating in its multiplayer games more seriously as of late, perhaps due in part to the upcoming release of Splatoon 3, which will let players battle it out with paint guns via multiplayer online co-op. This also wouldn't be the first time Nintendo has seemingly patented something for its Squid game. In fact, just last month, Nintendo also filed a patent that could give Splatoon 3 better maps. Fat Pad, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? So there we go. Nintendo is finally going to be incorporating, apparently, what appears to be at this point with the patent, anti-cheat software, which many other platforms and developers have been using for quite some time. All right, for any of those Pokemon Go fans out there, okay? And Pokemon Go and Amazon Prime Gaming team up to bring exciting rewards to Amazon Prime members. We're excited to announce an upcoming collaboration between Pokemon Go and Prime Gaming. Over the next several months, trainers who are Prime members can claim bundles of bonus items, including Pokeballs, Max Revives, and more in Pokemon Go every 2 weeks. With May Community Day and Pokemon Go Fest 2022 just around the corner, these items are sure to be useful. There's no need to wait. The first bundle will be available starting today, May 19th. That was yesterday. For more information or to claim this bundle, head over to Prime Gaming Pokemon Go page. If you have questions regarding other offer redemptions, please visit our redeeming offer codes page. So excited to join forces with Prime Gaming, and we hope you enjoy these bonus items. Please be aware of your surroundings and follow guidelines from local health authorities when playing Pokemon Go. Upcoming events are subject to change. Be sure to follow us on social media, opt in to receive push notifications, and subscribe to our emails to stay updated. The Pokemon Go team. If you're interested, how many people, I wonder, still play Pokemon Go? Is it still fairly popular? So there you go. There's the links in chat. If you're interested in you play some Pokemon Go or want to try out Pokemon Go, might be a good time to give it a shot. You get some, and if you have Prime, anyways, get in there and get some free items for Pokemon Go. Okay. Hedge fund that got wrecked by the GameStop stock surge to close. Melvin Capital held a big short position in GameStop stock and suffered badly for it. Tell me homie doesn't look like he's running out of here like he just ripped something off from GameStop. He's like, go kid, we got to get in the car. In 2021, a remarkable financial story emerged from subreddit Wall Street Bets, one that saw the subreddit's stonk memes eventually turning into the GameStop stock surge. It was such a spike. yeah, it looks like because of the mask and everything, right? Such a spike and caused such huge losses for some that the event has been the subject of congressional hearings. Now, one of the hedge funds most impacted by GameStop's surge in value has told its investors it's shutting down. Melvin Capital is run by Gabe Plotkin and was heavily invested in shorting GameStop stock, among other theoretically similar stocks such as AMC Entertainment, essentially betting that its share price would fall as people moved away from brick and mortar retail. The position was completely blown apart by the surge in GameStop's stock price in January 2021, which at one point had increased the value of the stock by 2,400%. Melvin Capital began 2021 with $12 billion US. By the end of January, it had lost 53% of its value. There was a $2.75 billion bailout from two fellow hedge funds and an improvement over the rest of the year, but clearly it wasn't enough. The news of Melvin Capital's closure came in a letter to investors reviewed by the New York Times. The past 17 months has been an incredibly trying time for the firm and you, our investors, Plotkin wrote. The appropriate next step is for the firm to liquidate its still considerable reserves and return cash to investors, while Plotkin himself is pledging to step away from managing external capital. It's a stunning fall from grace. Shush your mouth. For Plotkin, who'd been a successful Wall Street trader and portfolio manager for over a decade before founding Melvin Capital, which is named after his late grandfather. Prior to GameStop, the hedge fund had a reputation for extremely good returns, which Plotkin credited to its intense focus on short selling. Not sure Plotkin ever thought he'd be outmaneuvered by a bunch of amateur investors brought together by a love of cats, the internet, and nostalgia for GameStop. Whatever happened during the phenomenon, a crucial element to it was the coordination of so many thousands of smaller investors against what they saw as the old guard exemplified by Melvin Capital. I'm not sure this is a David and Goliath story at bottom. Really, tons of smaller investors lost money on this, as well as hedge funds. But the fate of Melvin Capital does go to show that memes sometimes can be serious business. That's wild, man. That's pretty wild. Here we go. This is the last article I have pulled up for today, okay? Which will be last year's best strategy game finally comes to Steam. If anybody has anything that I haven't covered you would like to take a look at before we kind of end this news segment up for today, then let me know, all right? Let me know. Yeah, you remember, dude, that was wild I remember when that happened too. Very, very vividly, Wick, yeah. It was crazy, man. That was crazy. Again, I hope it's good to see everybody. I hope your Friday is going well. It is Friday, baby. We love the weekend. Bring it. Old World had our resident strategy buff frothing at the mouth in excitement, I hasten to add, at a 4X that was actually doing some new things. In our review, Fraser described it as a brilliant 4X and one that I'd actually recommend over Civilization at the moment. It feels like a genuine step forward for the genre, boasting so many inventive, smart design decisions. The game was released in July last year as an Epic Store exclusive and impressed us so much that it eventually scooped up our best strategy gong for 2021. Now the exclusivity period has ended and the game's out on Steam and GOG alongside a 10% launch discount and new DLC that is thrown in for free if you take the plunge in the next fortnight. Not game, the next fortnight. Literally what Fortnite means. The DLC is called Heroes of the Aegean and adds a bunch of ancient Greece's greatest leaders and warriors. Players can apparently lead Athens to victory in the Battle of Marathon and defend Greece from a Persian invasion as Leonidas and his 300 Spartans and conquer the Hellenic world as Alexander the Great himself. Features 6 freeform scenarios from the classical world and introduces the new Hittite faction. Old World is essentially a game where the... Please, dude. How many times do I gotta turn this off? Essentially a game where the secret sauce... I gotta take a look at Pinky's ad blocker he sent me. Where the secret sauce is that you're leading an empire through multiple generations, building your own historical dynasty of ruthless or perhaps benevolent leaders. Mohawk Games and designer Soren Johnson also reconsidered various 4X systems and streamlined their approach without sacrificing complexity. Excuse me. Anyway, the 4X genre remains one of those quietly vibrant spaces in PC gaming, and Old World is one of the best recent examples as a game taking a look at an established genre, shaking it up a little, and achieving great results. It's also quite a pacey experience. Surprisingly enough, though, I say that in the context of the oft-ponderous 4X genre. There you go. So if you're into the 4X strategy type games, take a look at Old World. Take a look at Old World. This is probably like, I don't dislike these games, but it's like one of the last kinds of games that I'm looking to like jump into, you know? Just not necessarily something I've always been super, a genre I've been super interested in playing. There are great 4X games, strategy games out there though. So, and maybe if you're really into them, then checking out Old World would be something to take a look at, right? Um, what's happening here? Okay. Um, yeah. I see it, Varia. I see it. Yeah, I'll take a look in just a moment. I'll take a look in just a moment. Unless it's like something critical. I need more Java. which I'll grab in just a moment. Again, if you weren't here for the part of the news segment talking about Epic Game Store stuff, the Epic Game Store's summer mega sale is going on right now. You get a 25% off coupon. Okay, cool, Varia. Yeah, just give me a second. I'll take a look. 25% off coupon for anything you're going to purchase. Right now, you can get Borderlands 3 for free. That's the big thing. Go get your free games, man. I'm obviously not like sponsored by Epic or anything, but I'm always going to advocate for people to have access to games, and that's one way of doing it is free games. And Epic is really good about giving away free games. So go grab at least the base game of Borderlands 3 right now. Also, if you got XCOM, not Xbox, XCOM 2 for free like about a month ago off Epic, you can get all the DLC and expansions for that game for $10 right now on Epic. So it might be worth, right? Not, hit me up, Epic. Hit me up. You guys know. I mean, I'm gonna promote things that I feel like are a good things that I enjoy. Whether it be Java Lava, or getting free games, man. How do you not promote getting free games? Yeah, I don't know. I want everybody to have access to as much of this industry that I'm so passionate about and I love. So I'm going to promote going and grabbing free games. You can get a lot of them on Amazon Prime Gaming. You can get a lot of free good games on Epic. I've got an incredible, massive library on Epic that's almost entirely made up of free games. So I don't know. I know people are hesitant about starting an account and having games on multiple platforms and stuff, but they're free, man. I feel like you're doing yourself a disfavor if you're not grabbing some of those free games. So that should be it for our gaming news today. Doesn't look like anybody has anything else. Thank you to everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love doing this content. We will be hopping into day 7 of Valheim, right? Right after we end the news segment here. That's where we're going. If you are not moving forward with us, or if you are viewing this later as a video on YouTube, then stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. If you are checking this out as a video on YouTube and you're enjoying the content, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment so we can have a bit of a discussion about some of the topics we went over today. And we will catch everybody tomorrow for our May 21st edition of Video Gaming News. All right?